From Donald Trump nitpicking the size of his own portraits in the White House.
Hey, what the fuck is this, better?
This is the painting you asked for, sir.
Why is my dick so small?
To South Park, literally dropping him in bed with Satan. This season is pure political demolition.
Hey, Satan!
South Park just ended politicians with one episode, and nobody walked away unburned. The premiere episode didn't tiptoe. It set the tone with a full-blown humiliation tour for Donald Trump. We see him strutting around the White House, not focused on policy, not on leadership, but on whether the portrait of himself looks flattering enough. He fusses over size, proportions, colors, as if the presidency itself is one long Instagram filter. Then South Park takes it further. Trump in bed with Satan.
I don't want to right now.
What? Hey, relax! Come on, Satan, I've been working hard all day.
You haven't been working, you've been doing your stupid memes and just fucking around.
Come here again. Come on, Satan. You know you can't resist this.
I can't even see anything, it's so small.
Hey, I'll fucking sue you!
It's crude, juvenile, but calculated, because if there's one thing guaranteed to get under Trump's skin, it's mocking his masculinity. Cue the micro-penis gags, repeated, merciless, each one a needle straight into the ego.
The White House is firing back at Comedy Central's South Park after the season premiere. The episode Wednesday included a scene showing President Trump lying in bed with Satan, who also had a previous relationship with Saddam Hussein on the show.
But beneath the cheap laughs is a sharper point. Power isn't strength. It's insecurity dressed up in gold leaf. South Park didn't portray a president. They portrayed a man desperate for validation, fragile enough that a cartoon could dismantle him with a single gag.
Your leadership is truly beyond anything we have ever had in this country. And you do not have a small penis.
Thanks, gang.
On behalf of the state of Florida, I'd like to give you this gift, a silver-plated space shuttle.
Next!
And it lands. Because humiliation works better than critique. You can argue with criticism. You can't argue when a cartoon makes you look pathetic.
On Thursday, a White House spokesperson issued a statement saying, quote, South Park hasn't been relevant for more than 20 years, going on to say the show is hanging on by a thread by uninspired ideas in an attempt for attention. The show's parent company, Paramount, has not issued a response.
But South Park didn't stop at Trump. The blast radius spread fast. ICE agents became punchlines in a surreal raid on heaven itself, rounding up brown-skinned angels as if immigration crackdowns stretch all the way to the afterlife.
Look, I'm really sorry about this. It's just, I got a monthly nut, you know? I gotta make my nut.
Did a good job in there, soldier.
Okay, thank you, Captain.
Then came the podcast grifters. You've seen them. The self-styled patriots yelling into mics about toughness, masculinity, real Americans, and then pivoting to hawk overpriced supplements and merch. South Park shredded them, showing the hypocrisy in high-definition animation. And big tech wasn't spared either. CEOs and billionaires, painted as out-of-touch geniuses who can't connect with reality no matter how many billions they rake in. The message was clear. Wealth doesn't make you wise. And being in power doesn't make you serious.
Wow! Washington, D.C. This seems like the perfect place for a towel.
It's a full ecosystem roast. Politicians, bureaucrats, influencers, billionaires. Nobody left the room intact. That's the difference between South Park and every other satire show. Late night picks a side. South Park drops a nuke on every side. But let's be honest. As brutal as Trump's roast was, it wasn't the darkest strike. That honor belongs to Kristi Noem.
Whoa! Now we'll ask the same determination of you.
South Park yanked her old scandal out of the grave. The story from her own memoir, where she admitted shooting her hunting dog, Cricket, in the face after it misbehaved. Most politicians would avoid mentioning it ever again. South Park? They turned it into a running gag. In the ICE recruitment parody, her animated self looks right at the recruits and says,
The face of Homeland Security, I'll be leading the way. And together we'll make sure everyone is in this country legally.
That line alone was brutal. But then came the bonus clip.
They actually released this bonus clip on Twitter last night, poking fun at DHS Secretary Kristi Noem's past puppy killing scandal.
That's not satire. That's character assassination dressed as comedy. The internet went nuclear. Hashtag #DogKillerKristi. Hashtag ICE Barbie. Memes everywhere. DHS had to issue awkward press comments. And Noem herself? She went on talk shows to call it lazy and petty, complaining they mocked her looks instead of her policies. But here's the thing. South Park knew the wound to poke. The dog story is the scar she can never escape. Now it's immortalized as a cartoon clip, looped, memed, remixed forever. Kristi Noem didn't just get roasted, she got redefined. Here's the genius. Every time a politician lashes out, South Park wins. Noem fumed on Glenn Beck's show. Trump allies called the show irrelevant. DHS made stiff statements. And every one of those clips got shared, retweeted, stitched into memes. Result? The Noem episode became the highest-rated South Park in history. Over 6 million viewers across platforms within days. A cartoon dog massacre turned into a ratings spike that Paramount couldn't buy with ad dollars. Outrage isn't a bug. It's the business model. Politicians throw tantrums, and Trey Parker and Matt Stone cash the checks.
Among the properties owned by Paramount is the cable channel Comedy Central, and one of the most valuable parts of that channel is the show South Park. In fact, just yesterday, Paramount locked in a $1.5 billion deal with the creators of South Park to be the show's exclusive streaming home.
And speaking of checks, all of this chaos is happening right after Paramount inked a $1.5 billion mega deal with South Park's creators. At the same time, Paramount was untangling lawsuits with the FCC and Trump's orbit. So what do Parker and Stone do? Drop a season that mocks Trump, annihilates his cabinet, and drags federal agencies through puppy blood. That's not recklessness. That's confidence. It's them saying, you paid us. Now you can't touch us, and Paramount knows it.
Did you anticipate the reaction today? Have you been following it? What do you make of it?
We're terribly sorry.
CEO David Ellison publicly defended South Park, calling them equal opportunity offenders. While other satirical shows have been axed, South Park is protected because it's still a cultural juggernaut. Profitable, viral, untouchable. This isn't just TV anymore. It's billion-dollar cultural warfare.
What they're doing, it's could be somewhat risky, and it's showing a lot more courage than we've seen from places like you mentioned, like Columbia or law firms, or frankly Paramount itself, in trying to essentially appease Trump so that they get this FCC green light for this deal.
South Park's brilliance isn't only in the jokes. It's in the meta-commentary. Cartman declaring woke is dead? That's Parker and Stone telling us the culture war pendulum always swings back. PC Principal, once the woke police, now pushing Christianity into schools? That's the writers showing how every ideology flips when it gains power. And Trump lying in bed with Satan? That's the cartoon shorthand for authoritarianism. Always absurd, always ridiculous, always craving validation. It's controlled demolition. Each gag is a trigger. Each trigger sets off outrage cycles like dominoes. And the more people scream, the bigger South Park gets.
Yeah, but the president just dismissed him. He doesn't know who South Park is. He doesn't watch it. I think
he knows enough to be talking about it, right?
Oh, he was asked about it. But yeah, he can be dismissive of all these things. I think what we've learned over the years, and Steve Colbert is the best example, that when you hate half the country, like Steve Colbert did, and these comedians, they literally hate half the country, their comedy's not that funny.
That's not satire. That's execution. And politicians can't fight back. You can't sue a cartoon kid with a shotgun for making you look pathetic. You can't stop memes from spreading. South Park just ended politicians with one episode. Not by destroying careers directly, but by proving the one thing power can't survive: being laughed at. So buckle up. If this is just the opening act, the next episode's blast zone will be even bigger.